Welcome back to the Professor's Lab. I'm Professor V, and this is round 3 of the Die Hard League Challenge that happened on July 20th, 2023. If you didn't know, Die Hard League happens every Thursday starting at 6 p.m. Central at Die Hard Games. More info in the description, and check out Pokemon's event locator for premier events at Die Hard Games, such as League Challenges, League Cups, and pre-releases. Please give this video a like, subscribe to this channel, ring the bell for notifications, put your thoughts in the comments, and all that other good stuff. But anyways, let's get into the game. Alright, here we got Lost Zone. Traditional Lost Zone, let's say, versus Lost Giratina. Looking to start things off with this Comfey Flower Selecting to look at the top 2 cards. Lost Zone one of them and keep the other. I believe a course experiment was held on to getting rid of that Comfey, so not too bad of a choice. Immediately followed by a shiny Battle VIP pass. You can only play this card on your first turn, but when you do, you can search your deck for 2 basics. Another Comfey and a Radiant Greninja is found. And not too much of a deck search that I saw there, but feeling confident. Radiant Greninja uses its ability to discard an energy and draw 2 cards, concealed cards. Second shiny Battle VIP pass is played. We are firing on all cylinders here on our first turn with this Turbo Lost deck, Lost Zone deck. In the zone right now in the Professor's Lab. So maybe another Comfey, probably a Cramorant, another Comfey, and Manaphy actually. So Manaphy to help protect against any Radiant Greninja spread attacks. The League Escape Rope is played to switch into that second Comfey and firing off a second Flower Selecting. Checking out the top 2 cards of the deck, Lost Zoning 1 and keeping the other, Lost Zoning that Full Art Super Rod, attaching that beautiful basic energy just to retreat the active and go into the third Comfey. Another Flower Selecting, Lost Zoning that Switch cart, keeping the other card. And a pass, not a bad turn 1 for the Turbo Lost. Hisuian Heavy Ball being played, allowing the player to take a look at their prizes. They can switch the Hisuian Heavy Ball with any basic Pokemon they find there. So switching the Hisuian Heavy Ball with the Comfey that was in the prizes. Now Comfey gets to party. That Comfey just jumped around the Giratina V's neck, getting the luau vibes going on. No, I'm just kidding. Alright, I imagine we'll see that Comfey come down soon, but not before a Nest Ball is played. This is the first deck search, I believe. Nest Ball finding a Giratina V and putting it on the bench. Nest Ball letting you search the deck for a basic Pokemon and adding it to your bench. Nest Ball cannot be played if your bench is full, but it's not, so a Radiant Greninja was found, and another Nest Ball. Who needs finding a Comfey? Who needs Battle VIP pass when you can have 3 Nest Ball? You know, it's -1, but still very good. -1 compared to the Battle VIP, double Battle VIP pass. Anyways, Radiant Greninja's concealed cards, going to discard an energy and draw 2 cards, building up that hand, getting more options. 2 Giratina V down is very good, just in case one gets KO'd, and pass. Looks like the Lost Box player, we'll call it that, is going to start things off with the concealed cards to draw discard energy and draw 2 cards, followed by a course experiment, taking a look at the top 5, keeping 3 of them, and Lost Zoning 2. Pokestop is played down. A Dragonite V comes down to the bench party. And now it's time to start selecting some flowers. Flower selecting number 1. Look at the top 2, keep one of them, Lost Zone the other. Look like the Forest Seal Stone is kept, and the basic water is sent to the Lost Zone. Forest Seal Stone attached to the Dragonite V. Pokestop activated, looking at the top 3, discarding anything that's not item cards, and add all the other items to your hand. I didn't see what item was grabbed, losing a basic electric, it's not that bad. Lightning. Switch card is played to make that Dragonite V become active. Basic water energy attached to that active Dragonite V, and Forest Seal Stone V Star power lets you search your deck for any one card and add it to your hand. Just find the missing combo piece that you need. Uh, Probably a Lost Vacuum. We need to hit 7 in the Lost Zone in order to start Mirage Gating. Lost Vacuum, Lost Zone, a card, and then you may Lost Zone any tool or stadium card in play. So gonna send their own tool to the Lost Zone. Energy Recycler to shuffle back in up to 5 basic energy from the discard pile to the deck, and time for Mirage Gate. When there's 7 or more cards in the Lost Zone, you may search your deck for 2 different basic energy cards and attach them to your Pokemon in any way you like, and guess where they're going? Onto that Dragonite V. Dragonite V is fully powered up and can swing for 250 while doing some damage to the bench. I believe 20 damage to each of your own bench Pokemon. So, bit of a price to pay, but as long as it's used wisely, it will be super effective. Play resumes on the Lost Giratina's side, activating Flower Selecting to look at the top 2 cards of their deck. They may keep one of them and Lost Zone the other. Thanks to that Comfey, that shiny Comfey in the active. Looks like we have a kind of a tough choice here. Debating on which card to keep and which card to Lost Zone. This is our first card in the Lost Zone. Sableye. Ooh, that other card must have been good. Looks like it's Jet Energy. That way you can bring the Giratina up and Lost Zone some more cards with its first attack. But no, we're actually going to discard it with Radiant Greninja's ability to draw 2 cards. Looks like a Chorus Experiment was drawn and played. Looking at the top 5 cards of the deck and keeping 3 and sending 2 to the Lost Zone. As you can see, this Lost Giratina deck is not as turbo as the Turbo Lost Zone deck to get all those cards in the Lost Zone, but we'll get there eventually. Lost Zoning a Comfey and a Water Energy. Evolving that Giratina V to Giratina V Star. That's pretty good since the last one was KO'd. That evolving gives it a 280 HP. So we need to see something like a Choice Belt on the Dragonite V in order to KO that Giratina V Star, the shiniest one. Shout out to the bling. It ain't no thing if it ain't got the bling. Taking a look through the hand here to see what options we've got. We still have Pokestop to use as well. It looks like we're fixing some the damage on the left hand side here. And yeah, taking a good think here in the tank, deep in the tank, trying to consider what's the best move here. I didn't get a good look at that hand. I see a Giratina V is put on the bench. Escape Rope is played. Your opponent promotes a new Pokemon first, and then you do the same. And going to use Giratina's attack, Abyss Seeking. Look at the top 4 cards of your deck and put 2 of them into your hand and put the other in the Lost Zone. So that's a way this Lost Giratina deck can get cards in the Lost Zone, sending Path to the Peak and another Water Energy to the Lost Zone. Play resumes on our Turbo Lost Zone side, starting things off with a Chorus Experiment. Looking at the top 5 cards of the deck, still making the way through the deck and filling up that Lost Zone as well as their hand. 2 cards are going to go in the Lost Zone here. A Kyogre, so abandoning the Big Finish with a Kyogre, and something else. We shall see what it is shortly. Let's see, there's still Pokestop in play. And it looks like an Escape Rope is sent to the Lost Zone as well, valuing the 3 other cards off of Chorus a little bit more. Imagine we have a switching card in hand already, but not before a Mirage Gate to search their deck for two different basic energy and attach it to their Pokemon in any way they like. A water and psychic energy going to be attached to that Radiant Greninja on the bench for some spreading damage action. Flower selecting from the active Comfey. Um, Bringing up or sending one card to the Lost Zone and keeping the other. Looks like an energy is attached to the Greninja. Switch card, switching into that Greninja. And we're going to see 90 damage go onto two different Pokemon on their opponent's side. I'm going to look through the discard pile there and see what resources are available to their opponent. Alright, I apologize I had to pause the recording there, but let's get back into this game. It looks like the Greninja, Radiant Greninja on the left here, is attacking, doing 90 damage to that Comfey, taking the KO, and 90 damage somewhere else. May go on that V-Star to soften it up, but no, gonna go on that Radiant Greninja, really softening it up. Play resumes on the lost Giratina side. Starting things off with the course experiment. Looking at the top 5 cards, keeping 3 of them, and lost zoning 2. I believe that's a Pokestop in play. Lost zoning Battle VIP Pass and Giratina V-Star. Let's see, we're gonna definitely want to start taking some KOs at this point. You're already 3 prizes down, our lost Giratina players 3 prizes down. Don't mind me fixing the camera right there to get a good shot. I don't know what I thought was wrong with it in the first place, but just making sure you guys are awake and watching and paying attention, I suppose. Some calculations going on in our lost Giratina's player as they check out their massive hand and decide what options to take. Definitely something, an attribute of this these lost zone decks as they build up big giant hands to have lots of different options, but you also have lots of different options, lots of different things to do, and you got to think through more things. Mirage Gate is played, which allows the player, once they have at least 7 cards in the lost zone, to search their deck for 2 basic energy, different types, and attach them to their Pokemon in any way they would like. So most likely gonna, I guess they have an option to attack with this active Giratina V or go in with the V-Star. The active has less HP, but the V-Star has steeper attack costs or steeper costs associated with the attacks, like lost zoning energy or just using the one-time V-Star power. Radiant Greninja discards a energy and draws 2 cards for its trainer there with its concealed cards ability. As you see, Radiant Greninja is a great support Pokemon as well as attacker. Cramorant swimming around on the bench, debating if it should come down or not. It can take the KO on that Radiant Greninja, so that's not a bad idea. The active Giratina V is going to evolve into Giratina V-Star, Jet Energy attached to that benched, powered up Giratina V-Star. And it looks like we're going to go in with the Giratina V-Star. I wonder which attack is going to be used here. Lost Impact, Lost Zoning 2 energy cards, or 2 energy to overkill that Radiant Greninja. Play resumes on the Turbo Lost side. Comfey becoming the new active Pokemon. Flower selecting from that Comfey, checking out the top 2, Lost Zoning 1, and keeping the other. Sableye comes to the bench with a very nice Psychic Energy attached to it. Switch cart to heal off the damage on that Comfey and bring up the Sableye. Now it looks like Sableye can clean up the KO on the Radiant Greninja and soften up these Giratina V-Stars, or just one of them. The prize map is clear. Knock out the Radiant Greninja to draw 1 prize, and then you have 2 left, and then you can take those last 2 prizes on your next turn. Where do they go? you just have to have 250 left at least on the Giratina V Star in order to take a KO on it with Dragonite V. Looks like they're gonna put 40 and 40 on each Giratina V Star. Perfect. So now Dragonite V can knock out either of them. And do we have checkmate set up? I guess not. If the Lost Giratina player can KO that Dragonite V, gust it up with something like Boss's Orders and do a Star Requiem V-Star attack on it. How many cards are in the Lost Zone? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we need one more card in the Lost Zone in order to use that Star Requiem attack on the Giratina V-Star. Super Rod being eyeballed to shuffle back in 2 Psychic Energy and a Radiant Greninja. Shuffle those back into the deck. It looks like a Mirage Gate is being played. It happened very quickly. Yep, looks like Mirage Gate to search for 2 energy cards of different types and attach them to your Pokemon in any way you'd like. Looks like they're going to go on to that active Giratina V-Star, powering it up. Now we just need the Gust card. Gust card, yep, Boss's Orders to bring up that Dragonite V and take the KO on the Dragonite V. Okay, so what is our Turbo Lost player going to do? Have to kind of switch gears and make a new game plan. So that would have been too easy, I guess, if the Dragonite V would come in and take the KO on that softened up Giratina V-Star, huh? Gonna do an inventory, 5 or so cards left in that deck, flower selecting to find Double Battle VIP Pass. Easy mode, easy choices here. You have to show your opponent that, right? I think that's in the rule book or something somewhere. I'll have to check that out sometime in the professor's lab. I know they've been updating rules here and there and the guidelines and everything, so who knows? The players may know something that the professors don't. Imagine that. So yes, looks like the Pokestop is activated to grab 3 of those item cards. 1 card left in deck. It's getting very tricky here. Maybe searching for a way to cycle back in that Dragonite V and attack with it again. That's a start. Super Rod. Shuffling back in a Water Energy and the Dragonite V. Course Experiment played, I believe. Let's see what happened there. I'm going to go back in time a little bit here so we could see exactly what was happening. And here we were debating the recursion with the Super Rod. Yep, Super Rod is played to put back Dragonite V and Basic Water. Course Experiment is played to draw all the cards from the deck. Benching the Dragonite V, attaching the Water Energy to it. Escape Rope is played to switch your opponent's active Pokemon with one from their bench, and then promoting the Dragonite V here with the Energy. Energy Recycler is played to shuffle back in up to 5 basic energy cards, and Mirage Gate is then played to attach 2 of those energies of different type to the Dragonite V, powering it up and swinging for 250 for the last 2 prizes of the game. Wow, what a game there. What a finish. Didn't even need the Kyogre. MVP was that Dragonite V there with all of its energy powering it up. Nice. Oh, don't look at my script again. I don't know why it keeps opening up in that window. But anyways, what do you guys think of this video? Please leave your thoughts in the comments, like this video, subscribe to this channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time in the Professor's Lab.